Well, speaking of Ohio businesses, you probably already know that the first Wendy's opened here in Ohio. It was in Columbus back in 1969. Well, technology has certainly come a long way since that point, but Wendy's now says they plan to use its corporate location in the Columbus area to test an artificial intelligence drive-thru. Wendy's is partnering with Google for a test run that will begin next month. The pilot program will use Google Cloud's AI technology to have conversations with customers, understand made-to-order requests, and generate responses to frequently asked questions. Wendy's says this will allow employees to focus on serving up fast, fresh, quality food with exceptional service. By the way, here's a fun fact for you that you may or may not have known. Wendy's claims that they were the ones to introduce the modern pickup window for fast food restaurants more than 50 years ago. Now, way back, going back as far as the 50s, there were restaurants that would actually bring the food to your car,
yes.
Some on roller skates, some on foot. But Wendy's says they're the ones that came up with the idea of the drive-thru. So it kind of makes sense that they would now make the drive-thru next generation. Here's my only concern about that.
Go for it.
We've all had a million phone conversations with the automated phone operator, and they almost never get it right.
That's true.
It's so frustrating that I actually make a mental note of companies that tend to lean heavily on that technology, and I try to avoid them whenever I can.
So
because it's frustrating.
As I understand it, you're going to be talking to AI.
Yes.
And then your order will be broadcast on a screen to the line cooks,
yes,
who will then fill it.
So
now I'm wondering if the line cooks are ever going to look at that and go, what the heck is that?
Well, I'm sure there's going to be bugs in the system, but I have had a lot of bad experiences with drive-through windows in general with humans.
Hey, yeah.
You get home, you open the bag. This is not what I ordered. There's nothing more frustrating.
That usually helps.
That's become a practice for many. Look, there was a report just last week that said within 5 years, worldwide, AI will cost tens of millions of jobs. It will replace tens of millions of human beings performing jobs. This certainly looks like it would be one of those that may go by the wayside.
But it
window.
also makes you wonder, what does this do to our interpersonal communications and the relationships that we form if we're talking to computers? That's one of the trepidations I have about it. However, we want to know how you feel about AI in general becoming a bigger part of our lives here. Just go over to the 3 What's New Facebook page or the WKYC Facebook page. We want to hear what you have to say. Stephanie Haney will have your opinions a little bit later in the show, and thank you for chiming in.